I always talk about that learning architecture is your edge, how you make observations, how you organize your network. And so what I'm going to be asking you is describing to me how do you go about, approaching the entire day, and have you actually ever considered what is your learning ecosystem? And so that means, for example, coming in the morning, you have the team's research. Have you been through, the overnight news? How do you go about, distilling or observing what's important in that overnight news? What's your practices in the day? We're in a moment now, especially within the bond market, central bank, and I'll keep on reiterating this because I've been involved in many areas and many periods of supreme vol compression, extreme desolate times, with regards to vol, but the traders who were able to carve a career from 2013 till now, and are probably your most supreme training athletes in the sense they were able to, when the industry in London was collapsing. I'm talking about the prop industry was collapsing, not because of algos or black box systems, because just a failure to recognize of how we go and develop, perform, and we have guys who are performing better than guys pre-2000, predated the algorithmic systems, predated the black box AI. I'm speaking to a very interesting guy on Wednesday who's a neuroscientist. PhD in literature, and he's a trailblazer of the difference between AI and humans. And it's just a side topic. I just thought I'd share this with you, that machines, deep learning systems, AI cannot do 98% of what humans can do. Which means there's this supreme supreme arena or this capacity to improve so much more of how we spot opportunity, and the main reason between that is humans think in action, effectively verbs, causal reasoning. We don't need much data to kind of make a prediction, and then we have this ability to iterate, but it's our ability to think in narrative, whereas machines think in symbolic logic. So A equals B. There's a whole science behind it, but just from that side, it's a pivot we took in 2015 was to invest in humans, and we'll consistently invest as opposed to in machine. Now machines can help us with crunching big data, bringing our awareness to a certain area, but when it comes to that moment of making that decision in real time in a very fast moving environment, we are so much more skillful. It's like we're so much more skillful than a robot maneuvering between tight corners, and it's the same with the brain. That's a lot harder to replicate than the physical body.